Hey, what is up, guys? It is John from the Collectors Company today, and I'm here with Jun. Jun, what did you get up to on the weekend?
So on the weekend, we had our Nationals tournament here in OCE. I played Gogeta, and I came in the top 8. So yeah, pretty happy with my results there.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. It was like, obviously it's the last event we've had for the year, and yeah, Jun did did really well to get top 8, and yeah, he's doing it on Gogeta as well, which a lot of people consider like more of a still definitely the best blue deck, but not as powerful as some decks in other colors.
Yeah, that's for sure.
Alrighty, well, we'll just quickly dive into the profile, which is cool. This is the first Gogeta profile we've done, so yeah, let's run us down, Jun.
So on the front side, we are playing Son Goku. So what he does is in all areas, he negates the energy exhaust of blue-yellow multicolor Saiyans. Then he's got an activate main, where you can take up to 1 life, so you don't have to, but it's normally pretty good to do so. You look at the top 5 cards of your deck and add a yellow or a blue Saiyan from there to your hand. And then when you're at 5 life, you draw 2 and you flip over.
Yeah, I'll argue, like I personally think this is one of, if not the best leader front side in the game. I think this, like, all of this is just crazy to have on 1 leader alone. Like uninteractable drawing, self-awakening, and a higher life total awakening. This leader just reads insane.
Yeah, 100%. It's also very notable that you get to do this on your first turn, going first. So from the get-go of the game, you are plussing cards.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy.
Alright, when we flip over, we become Goku and Vegeta. So you still have the same permanent where energy exhaust is negated. You've got an auto when it attacks. You can draw a card and add a card from your life to your hand. So yet another way to self-awaken yourself, which we will see why in a second. And then it's also got an activate main, where you pay 1 blue, draw a card, and return a 4-drop or less back to its opponent's hand. Which is, the draw is very nice. Adding a card back to your opponent's hand can often be quite bad, but it's there, it's relevant.
Yeah, the fact that, like, if your opponent has a Z card, you don't have an optimal way to clear. Pay 1, draw a card, clear it is very good. Yeah, I think that, yeah, this leader alone is just crazy. This leader is so powerful. I'd definitely say that this is the best blue leader in the game, no questions asked. It does so much, and it also gets to play yellow cards as a part of its engine, which is another plus.
Yeah. Alright, jumping into the Z deck, we are playing the Gogeta Z leader. When your life is 3 or less, you pay 1 blue, and you become this leader. When you use a blue-yellow Gogeta, you draw a card and bottom deck one of your opponent's battle cards, ignoring barrier. So basically, anytime you're playing any of your Gogetas, you are bottom decking basically any card that isn't indestructible.
Yeah, this is like crazy. The fact that like blue doesn't really have great barrier removal, and this leader gives you all your cards that you're playing anyway barrier removal, it's very nice. And you draw a card on top of that as well.
Yeah. Then you've got the classic, when you swing, you draw a card. And then you've got an active main, which is absolutely ridiculous.
Active battle.
Active battle, sorry. If you have a Gogeta or a Veku with Aegis, you may send 1 blue card and 1 yellow card from your drop to your warp, and then you switch 2 of your energy back to active mode. But you can't play, you can only play yellow cards for the rest of the turn. Yeah, it's just it's free untapped too. Most of the time we'll be doing the Gokus and Vegetas, which we will get into, which essentially draw you another 2 cards as well.
Yeah, this ability is essentially untap 2, draw 2, majority of the time. Yes, it has the drawback that you can play yellow cards, but the chances are the main yellow card you would be playing would be Oolong, which, you know, is fine. You just choose one of your Gogetas. But yeah, no, this card's crazy.
Yeah, you can also just play another Gogeta after you do this as well, because it is a yellow card.
That is fair enough.
Yeah. Jumping into the next card, we've got 2 Soul Punishers.
So I know a lot of lists are only running the 1, but how come what made you want to run 2?
So, before this event, I was trying to think, how do I beat Cooler Mill? I had versed it a few times when I only had 1 Soul Punisher, and I hadn't particularly teched my deck for it, and it felt 100-0 Cooler's favour. I could not beat that deck. This, I found, solved the matchup. Basically, they're going to take a couple early attacks in the early game. Maybe go to 6. You leave them at 6. You want to go 6 to 3, and then 3 to 0 with these 2 cards right here. Basically, what it does, if your leader is a blues, Basically, if this is your leader, you can activate your Aegis skills by sending a blue and a yellow card from your drop to your wall. So basically, Aegis is free.
Which is huge, because Aegis is broken ability, and doing it free is even more broken.
Exactly. We remember how broken Bojack was. That drew you 1. This is basically net neutral 0 instead of losing 1.
Yep.
And then you got the active main. It's limit 1, so you cannot do this twice in a turn if you had, say, Beast Tarn or something. But you pay a blue and a yellow, and you gain 30k and triple strike on your leader.
Bigger number, better person, as they say.
Yeah, just a casual 50k triple strike. You know, it seems pretty good.
Yeah, it seems very good, yeah.
Yeah, so I teched in 2 of these to close out slower matchups. It's very good into U7, where a lot of lists are running the backbone of U7 super combo, where it activates at 5. You just leave them at 6. You do one of them, then you do the other one.
Yeah, look, I was a victim from that particular combo in testing, so you know, it is what it is.
Yeah. It's just a good answer to the current meta.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's a good shout. Some lists are already running to it, and I think it makes sense for what you need it for.
Exactly. Alright, then we've got 1 Beerus.
On-demand barrier removal.
On-demand barrier removal, cheeky attacker. Yeah, we've seen this card for a while now. Basically, if you're playing blue, this is going to be in your Z deck, at least one of them.
Yeah.
Yeah, you just remove something ignoring barrier. If they've got a few cards out that is greater than their energy cost, you can remove up to 3 of them. It's pretty good.
Yeah, it's very good, yeah. This card's still kind of underrated, but it doesn't have the flex, which kind of sucks, but
Exactly.
also that's what makes it fair.
T-blow, like focus breakthrough, that sort of thing hits this, so you just got to be careful of that.
Yeah, for sure.
Then we got Son Goku. This one has barrier and deflect, so good luck interacting with this one. Basically, if they have 11 or more cards in hand, they bottom deck cards until they've got 10.
Yep.
The active battle part, completely irrelevant for this deck. It is purely just to limit those hand sizes on some of the decks that are just drawing like crazy at the moment. Like this deck.
Yeah, Gogeta, like, there's a lot of time you verse Gogeta and you go cards in hand on like turn 2 or turn 3 and they say like 15 or 16, which is kind of absurd. So I think this is, yeah, this card's kind of needed in every... If you're playing blue energy, you should probably play this card in your Z deck, at least the one of. Or if your leader's mono blue, I guess.
Yeah, this one is also a meta call at the moment. Then we got 1 Cell.
Okay.
Yeah, so basically it just board wipes anything 5 or less, not ignoring barrier. So decks like Prismatic that go wide with a lot of 2-drops and stuff, this is very relevant against. It's a 25k critical. And then active main, you can remove all the cards from underneath it to restand it. And also if you remove 4 or more, it gains triple strike as well. So it becomes a 25k dual attack. One of those swings is going to be triple strike.
Yeah, okay. Good card is good.
Yeah. So this deck generally struggles to deal with boards that go very wide. This is just a way to deal with those boards that don't have barrier, go very wide. Just, yeah, cheap and easy.
Yeah, this card kind of also lets you just beat Pan on your own kind of thing, even though Red's like a bit hard, but this card kind of, like, Red's low to the ground and this lets you just deal with the low to the ground stuff.
Yeah. And then the last card in the Z deck, Oolong.
Yep.
You play a lot of big boys in this deck, this copy's a big boy. It's a 1-drop, 35, 40k.
It's good.
Yeah. It actually can copy your opponent's power as well. But most of the time in this event, I didn't dump for game on this or anything. It's just not safe enough. It's not... And most of the time, I'm not attacking them when they're at 1.
Yeah, that's true.
So basically, this has been a 1-drop, 40k. I swing at one of their smaller cards. 40k is a big number.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, I can use it as a removal. Yeah, this card's really, really good.
Yeah.
And that's the Z deck, so now we'll go into the bread and butter, the actual deck, right?
Yes, sir. Let's dive right in. So, the SCR of the deck.
Him.
It's him. So, Gogeta fuses for 1 blue or 1 yellow. So, that's every card in this deck.
Yep.
With your leader, you'll be drawing a card and bottom decking a card, ignoring barrier.
Yep.
He's got Aegis, which you can activate by bottom decking a card at random from your opponent's hand. So you are not paying for your own Aegis. You are just untapping 2 and taxing them at the same time. It's got a ridiculous permanent that says, this card cannot be removed by your opponent's skills.
Yep.
Decks have to side for this card.
That is
just
very
because of that.
Yep.
And then, if it wasn't enough already, when you untap energy by a skill, he untaps himself, he chooses any one of your opponent's cards, ignoring barrier, including energy, and swaps it to rest mode. So this is essentially either a dual attack 40k or a double blocker 40k, untaps 2, takes a card from their hand, and taps an energy.
He is him.
He points to himself because he knows he's him.
Yeah, this card's crazy. This card's broken.
Basically, any game that I played this and it lived past a single turn, it came back to my turn, I won the game.
Yeah, that makes perfect sense. That's fair.
And the games that it stayed for 3-4 turns,
He was him.
he was him. Moving on to the next lot of Gogetas, we have the 8-drop of the deck. Also a card with Aegis. He fuses for 4, you draw 2 cards, but with your leader, that's a draw 3, bottom deck 1.
Yep.
He's got a similar order where when you untap an energy using a skill, he untaps himself and then taps one of their battle cards or unisons.
Yeah, this card's crazy as well. The Gogeta cards are so big, so powerful, and they're even this one as well, having the lingering effect that he can't be removed by skills is huge.
Yeah, exactly. So they're all very sticky, especially that one turn that you play it. It's notable, even if this skills are negated, the lingering effect still makes it so it cannot be removed.
Yeah.
So it just sits there as a problem that is going to come back to your turn and then going to have to deal with again.
Yeah, exactly. Like, unless you're versing red, this card is surviving the 2 turns.
Yeah, and even though it's drawing only 3, I say, you fuse for 3, you draw 3 new cards, and then you will use the Goku and Vegeta, which I'm about to get into, to search for another Goku and Vegeta. So it's essentially seeing you 5 new cards.
Yeah.
Which is, honestly, pretty ridiculous. Alright, the next lot will be the Gokus and Vegetas. We've got 6 Gokus and 6 Vegetas. I found the correct ratio for 4 Gogetas is 6 of each of the fusion targets. These ones here, they play for their respective colour, so 1 yellow, 1 blue,
Draw a card.
Yep. And then when they're sent to the warp by either your leader skill or Soul Punisher, they search for... The Goku searches for either of the Vegetas, and the Vegeta searches for either of the Gokus.
Yep.
It's basically just constantly getting your pieces, constantly drawing free combo power. It's just insanely good in this deck.
Yeah. It's just, this is like what makes the deck. The engines are very big, but the engine's also very good.
Yeah, I found that 6 was the correct number as well, just because I always want to have 1 if I know that I've still got fusions that I can play.
Yeah, that makes sense.
This Vegeta here, he becomes a 20k critical when you play him. When he's sent by the Soul Punisher or your leader skill, you can...
you play him at the end of the turn, right?
I think it's actually only by Soul Punisher with this one.
And it's leader skill, yeah. Choose one of your opponent's battle cards at the cost of
Okay,
force.
I'm reading upside down.
Yeah.
But anyway, you pay 1 at the end of the... When you do it, it's not even at the end of the battle. You just do it straight away, and you can bottom deck one of their battle cards, 4 or less, I believe.
Yeah, I think... yeah, look, this is the fusion target, let's be real.
It's a fusion target. It actually did come up one time where I played it, removed something, and it ended the battle, I'm pretty sure. And then I get a 20k crit.
Yeah, well, that sounds pretty good.
Yeah. And the time that I did it, since I've basically never done it before, I was like, hey, that's pretty good. This one here, I don't play any yellow extra cards in the main deck, so most of the time it's a 3-cost counterplay. It comes in rest, and you draw a card, and it's a blocker. It's basically just the better 5k 3-cost yellow Goku that you can play for this deck.
Yeah, no, I agree. A lot of people are playing just the archetype one, the blocker or whatever, right? But yeah, most of the time it doesn't actually come up. This is kind of relevant, considering it has that extra utility. Like, I'd imagine if you kept on playing the deck, you'll find a situation where this is live and it will win you a game.
It notably taps stuff like 5-drop Cooler and Gohan. Yep. So they go for that, and you're just like, I'll tap it, draw a card, have a blocker. Seems pretty good.
Yeah, for sure.
But in the late game, you just have so much energy. You got more energy than you have players.
Yeah, that's actually too true in this deck.
Yeah. And the archetype one of this, it does basically the same. It does something similar to this, but it only comes into play at the end of that turn.
Yeah.
So it's not good enough to play over this.
No, I agree. Yeah.
A few more like arrival sort of things. We've We've got SS3 Goku. So keep in mind, all of these multicolor cards, they're check lands for you. They come in active. It's a 25k double striker. Draws a card when you play it. You need to have the Z extra card out to play it.
Or a Z battle card.
I actually didn't know that. I thought it had to be a Z extra.
Oh, fair enough. No, it has to be if you have a leader's blue or yellow, and you have 3 more energy and a Z card in your battle area.
That is better than I thought it was. So it will tap something. Tap a battle card and bottom deck a battle card 5 or less. So you can do 2 different things. Say they're attacking with a 4-drop and they've got a 5-drop sitting on the board. You can bottom deck the 4-drop that's attacking and tap the thing. You essentially just stop 2 attacks by playing this card on your opponent's turn because it's active main or battle.
This card is very good. This card is very underrated.
This card is very good in the situations where it's good, but otherwise it's just a check line. And when it's on the field as well, it's a free 5k as well.
Yeah, 25k double strike. Everything about this card's really good. It's a good card.
The only thing that's bad about it is when it's in your hand, it's a 1-cost 5k combo, which is
not good.
Really not good. But hey, we've got enough filter to fix that.
That is true. That is true.
Then we've got one of Kefla.
Your tag. So why only the one Kefla?
So there's basically 2 versions of the Gogeta build. One where you do play Keflas, one where you don't play Keflas. I kind of had a free slot in my deck, and I was like, hey, if I charge a Kefla, they have to respect the Keflas. But also, if I have it in my hand and don't charge it, it's basically a third Gohan rare.
Yeah, arrival something, ignoring barrier, clearing it.
Yes. The active main pretty much won't come up. You could give a dual attack. It honestly, normally, every time I played it, it didn't live long enough to reach my turn. But yeah, basically, it's a one-off. If I charge it, they have to respect it.
Okay, that's fair. That's cool logic. I like it, yeah.
Obviously, after this tournament and after discussing it here, might not work as well, but
yeah, I think in the future, I think it's a 2-of in the future kind of thing. It's kind of like Yellow's argument, you play the 1 final flash, you charge it, you have to respect it, right?
Exactly.
But majority of people play 1, but if you play 2, it's like, well, damn, okay, say less.
Yeah, so I'll either be going to 2 or cutting this.
Yep.
And then the final arrival card, Goku and Vegeta. It arrivals for blue and a yellow. It draws a card, and then it negates one of your opponent's battle card skills for the duration of the turn.
Yeah, I like this as a 1-of attack. I've always really enjoyed, like, when I was trying to make Gogeta work, I kind of gave up on the deck, but yeah. I'd always include this as a 1-of just because of the fact that utility, that utility can win you games.
Yeah, so defensively, they're attacking with, say, I don't know, Quad Strike Vegeta.
Yeah.
You just go, oh yeah, it's not Quad Strike anymore.
Yeah.
Offensively, this was to answer the Gogeta secret rare in the mirror.
Yeah.
So I negated skills, then I can kill it.
Yeah.
It also comes up against Fu secret rare, the Kumba.
Because you're playing that skills, yeah.
Yes. It didn't come up in my game versus a Fu that I played on the weekend, but it was there. I did keep it in the deck for that because that's a good option to have.
Yep.
And then the last multicolors for Zamasu.
Zamasu is very, very good in the current meta.
Yes. This card is your godsend against U7.
Okay.
If you don't have this card, they're gonna be burning you, and you're on 3 life because you're playing Gogeta.
Yeah.
Basically, counterplay, you return a 4-drop or less back to your opponent's hand. It's a check land if you have another multicolor. And when you play it, you draw a card and then tap one of their battle cards.
Yeah, the card's insane. Like, honestly, still insane as well. Still, like, yeah. It's got so much uses, but the big thing is that there's actually a lot of cards in the meta currently that can get hit that don't have deflect, such as, like you said, the U7 Goku, and then tapping something as well is just, yeah, icing on the cake.
Yeah, even if my opponent's playing a card that cannot be hit by the counterplay, I've played this before just to tap something or the card that's being played. I have also played this on my turn, tapping 2 for it just to tap down a blocker.
Yep.
But tapping 2, tap a blocker, draw a card, it's not even that bad. You get a 10k combo in there somewhere. It's just nice.
Yeah, that is true. That is true. That's pretty smart.
Then a few more tech cards. We've got 2 SGR. the 3-cost active battle isn't that relevant these days. A lot of people will be playing around it. What is most useful is when you Z-charge it, you pay 1, you bottom deck a battle card 5 or less. That is very good.
That is too good. That pretty much just checks every arrival in the game.
Every arrival, a lot of Z battle cards. It's just... yeah, it's very solid. Yep. The one time I did play it though, a 20k triple attacker, that is not an irrelevant number.
No, it is not. Each energy you're paying for it, that's one swing going at your opponent's face.
Exactly.
It's like Tottenham's first.
I have actually played this. I knew it was my opponent's last swing. I still have 3 energy up. I'm like, cool, I'll play a 20k triple attacker.
That's pretty smart too. Very smart, Jun.
Then we have 2 baby apes. It's combos very well with your 2 Z extras that give you triple strike and 50k, make you a 50k.
Yeah.
Basically, you want to set up a turn where you can do both of these at the same time.
Yeah.
Whether you already have a card with Aegis on the board, so you can untap with your leader, or you just have 7 energy.
Yeah.
He himself is a 30k triple striker, so if all this fails, he's also a triple striker.
That's true, yeah.
He counter-counters, so blue and yellow are basically the 2 colors that have a good generic counter.
Yeah.
Sure, yours is more expensive, but it also bottom decks a card, ignoring barrier, draws you a card, and it also doubles as a counterplay. I never used the counterplay, but it is there.
It's also a triple strike as well, like you said, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've got a question now, because this is, when I was playing Gogeta, I was playing a 1-1 split of this and the Goku Black, which is essentially the same thing, but slightly weaker and is a 5k. Were you just playing this because it was a winner card, or did you consider Goku Black at all because it's a 5k?
50-50. Yes, it's a winner card. I like my foils, I would admit that. But it's also the fact that you can finish a game with the triple striker if this fails.
Yeah, that's fair.
I find this deck has enough filter to make it that the 10k is okay.
Yeah, that's true. No, cool.
And if in doubt, you charge it. Because once you're a Z elite, the energy exhaust is not negated.
Yeah, that's true, that's true.
Then we got a bit of a defensive package here.
Thinking of you, Blake. Thinking of you.
Thinking of you. We've got the peel-offs and the Android 17s.
Winner, winner.
We'll start off with the Android 17. If you're basically, you have a Z leader, it's always going to be live.
Yep.
Negates the attack. If they want to swing with a battle card, they got to bottom deck 1 card from their hand.
It's good floodgate.
Very good floodgate, and just automatically online in this deck.
Yep.
My Peel-Off and Shoe. This card is amazing. It is my favorite card. When you play it, you draw a card, then you choose one of their keyword skills on their battle cards and negate it. Because you're choosing the skill and not the card, that ignores barrier. You can choose barrier if you like. And then it's got this dirty little activate battle where you place one of their combos with a cost of 0 on the bottom of their deck. This card single-handedly checks the U7 matchup. Against Blake in Swiss, I ended up playing 3 of these by his turn 3. If he wants to awaken, he needs to get 3 Z energy. This card said no. Eventually, by turn 7, after using my awakened front side just to draw a card every single turn, sitting behind this, never swinging at him, he had 6 cards in hand, I had 18, I'm on 7 energy. The game may as well been over. When he finally did awaken and start getting some Z energy, he got an Android 18 in there.
Oh no.
The Android 18 says, you may get rid of this from your Z energy, discard a card, and combo with 2 cards from U7 cards from your drop area. I had a look at this card. Oh, it doesn't say on my opponent's turn. Please bottom deck both of those cards that you just comboed.
It's actually so toxic.
It might have been the most unfun game that I have ever inflicted on someone before. This card is extremely good.
That's funny. But yeah, this card allows you to. This card early game hurts the U7 a lot, so it's a very powerful card.
If in doubt, it's a. You just go on something. Oh yeah, I play this, draw a card. Oh, you're not going to combo because I'm just going to bottom deck it anyway. Cool, I'll combo it off and get a Z energy and get out of the attack.
Yep. No, cards like, yeah, the utility of that card's through the roof. The fact that like actually removing barrier from some cards, enabling you to clear them with other things is huge.
Even just the fact that you can play it on your turn, draw a card, and then it's got the active battle. That basically already makes it the best cantrip in the game.
That is true.
Then we've got 4 Vegeta Super Combo, bottom deck, draw 2. You're normally going to be below 4 life anyway because of your leader.
Yep.
Normally that happens by turn 2, so this is normally life by turn 2.
Yep.
And that is also your filter to get rid of all those 10Ks, one costs 10K combos.
Yep.
Yeah, just a way to filter out your hand a little bit.
Yeah, and also you can, this deck, the leader makes it so Zeno Super Combo doesn't work, so you don't really have anything better, and this is like the better Saiyan, so it's searchable.
It's a deck that draws a lot, drawing more.
Yes.
We've got the 1 of Boonison. We know exactly what this does. Stop the strike, blocker, 20k, untap 1, draw 1, remove something on your opponent's turn. It's just generic good blue.
It's generic good boo.
Yeah, good boo Unison.
Yep. Card's crazy still.
Yeah, it's 2 verticals.
Alright, then we've got 2 Frost Deadly Poison. So, this is basically Cold Bloodlust for blue-yellow.
Yep.
It negates the card's skills. You draw 1, and then if you're on 3 or less life, you untap 1 as well. This is basically a sideboard card in main. This is often sided out, depending on matchup, but it hits quite a few notable things, like the 4-drop U7 card, the 10-drop Gogeta and Prismatic Bardock.
Yep.
I had one of my opponents played on me in the side event. He double striked me from 3 to 1, and then was planning on fusing to burn me for 1. And I just said, no.
Yep. No, good card is good.
Yeah, it's just a good card. It hits the things that you want it to. It's just a good card for this current meta.
And at worst, it draws you a card.
Yeah, that's true. Then we got 4 Senzu Beans. Turns out, if you make your leader a 25k, that is basically a floodgate.
That is true.
You also untap energy, which enables stuff like your arrivals, your SGR. It just gives you more options.
Yep.
And allows you to be a lot more free with your energy, especially when your opponents are playing the D-Magic Hate 1-drops.
Yep.
This is how you untap energy.
Yep, for sure.
Then we got the 4D Magics.
Yep.
Another hard negate, untaps 2, can activate for sparking if you just want to straight up untap 2. It's pretty crazy.
Yeah, nah.
A lot of the time, your opponent maybe only can clear your Gogetas by doing something on swing. This triggers the Gogeta before they can clear it on swing.
Yep.
So, yeah, just all these ways you can untap energy, trigger all of your Gogetas.
Yep.
It's very good.
Yeah, 100%. Like extra defense. Like, yeah, there's a reason why the Bandai's literally made a card do hard to counter this card, which is kind of absurd.
And then the last 2 cards in the deck, MUI Kamehameha. So, most of the time it's used on your opponent's turn. They're swinging 30k, you go, cool, 35.
Yep.
It untaps an energy as well. Can trigger the Gogeta effects. But basically, it's a 15k for 0. It's just...
Yeah. I think players are kind of realizing that all the iconic attack rares are fairly busted in their own way. So a majority of decks are including their respective color, except for like maybe black, but every other color is usually including their iconic attack rares, a 1 of or a 2 of.
Yeah. It's also just extremely strong when you're dumping for game and you're already a base 50k and you go, cool, 65, draw a card.
Yeah, and just keep on dumping and dumping. Yeah.
Exactly. People a lot of the time don't negate that swing if they think that you're going to baby 8 them. Because they're like, oh, I'm going to get counter anyway, may as well not negate. And you're like, cool, now I've got all this energy to use all my 1 cost 10ks and this card, and you just make ridiculously high numbers.
Yeah.
That way you have 1 less.
Alright, jumping into the sideboard.
Yep.
We've got 1 Cunning. This is just to respect Android 21 and Cooler.
Yep. And it's yellow because it's searchable. A yellow Saiyan.
Yes.
The blue one's not searchable, it's Krillin, I think, right?
Yes. I did check. The Freezer plus Whis combo, if it's used on their turn, that does count as a battle card, so they do need to warp 5.
Oh, true. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I remember we talked about this. Yeah, no, cool.
Yeah, so that it's just a good tech to hit that sort of thing. Basically, at the moment, how I build my sideboards is 1 Cunning plus 14 cards.
That's fair, that's fair.
Then we got 2 Ice Lands for the Mirror and Fu.
Yep.
You just choose one of your opponent's battle cards with an energy cost greater than their current energy, and you negate its skills for the turn. So all those cards that have a way of like just staying on the board, you just say, yeah, no, it doesn't. I didn't end up siding this in any matchup. I just didn't find I needed it. I didn't verse the Mirror. I did verse Fu, but I had enough other things that I wanted to side that I didn't side this in.
No, that makes sense. That's fair. It's still a good card overall, so yeah.
Yeah. Then we got 1 Jiren, just in case they turn in the tide.
Cut that card that should be banned already, but I digress.
Yeah, so I normally have like anywhere between 12 to 18, maybe more. Like, you get some ridiculously large hands in this deck, and you don't want that to just all disappear, all that hard work that you've been building.
Yeah.
Then we've got 3 Deborahs.
For green.
For green. I didn't verse green on the weekend. I actually had this at 4 originally. I went down to 3 just because I needed more space in my sideboard. Thankfully I did, because I just didn't end up using them.
Yeah, that's fair. I think, yeah, this deck has so much extra energy, like you're saying. It's like, at worst, you verse green Gohan, right? They swing with something, and then you're like, oh, okay, I'll draw 2 cards.
Yes, inside of it, I did verse a My Trunks. They swung with a cooler. I said, okay, I play my Deborah. Okay, they're just going 20k? Cool, I'll go to 25 because I'm a Z leader.
Yeah.
They swung again. Cool, I'll discard a Deborah, draw 2. I'll combo it off. I just gained an insane amount of value from
Yeah.
them just swinging at me.
Yeah.
And then we've got 2 Flying Nimbus.
Yep.
Just for those...
Sounds insane.
Yeah, just for those red decks, those rush down aggro decks that you need a extra card hard floodgate that says, eventually you will stop swinging at me.
Yeah.
Crush 3, please.
Yeah, set 3 card, we know what it does.
Card is still very meta relevant. Still the best extra card floodgate for yellow.
Yes. 2 Unison of Fury. This is basically just in here because it stops black. Everything that black plays is bigger than their energy cost. This says, cool, you can't swing with anything. It's also good against Vegito, which I did verse, and I did side this in.
Shoot 2 calls,
Yeah, it just completely shuts down some decks if they can't answer them.
Yeah, exactly. It's one of the cards where it's like, you know, if you don't have anything really better to run in your sideboard, in yellow specifically, or if you have yellow energy, you just chuck this bad boy in there. At worst, it's like, oh, I'm versing this deck I'm not too familiar with, and it's like, oh, wait a minute, Vegeta Unison just wins you that matchup on its own.
Yeah, exactly. And you can also do the active main, tap down one of their energy, becomes a 20k dual attack double striker. It's there.
Yeah. Nah, for sure. Like, yeah, the -3 is actually huge because you just play it for 2, tap itself, it gets 3, -3. Even though you lose your Unison, you can potentially go for game with it.
Yeah. Normally, when you have enough energy, you're just slamming it. Gogeta after Gogeta after Gogeta. But yes, that is a relevant thing you can do. Then we got 2 Mutai Itos. Just tap something, ignoring barrier that's greater than their energy cost, and it cannot be switched to active for the turn.
Which is huge.
Very good. Hits basically every boss monster in the game.
Yeah, that's true, it does actually.
It is a little bit fragile though. If the card that they're playing says, on play, kill something, this can be, as its cost, it needs to kill itself. So, you need to be careful of what you're hitting with this.
Yeah, 100%, yeah. You don't want to be just playing this and your opponent's like, oh, I kill this and my card's unaffected.
Yes, exactly. But it does exactly what we want it to do. And then, the last card on my sideboard is a bit of a spicy tech. 2 Baby Unisons. So, this card is solely here for the cooler matchup, where I can play this on turn 4 if I have negates in my hand to defend it. It will draw me a card. So the way I play the cooler matchup is I do not play battle cards. I versed 1 in my final round of Swiss. I think I only played a Zamasu to tap down a blocker, which I immediately comboed off, and I played my SCR to enable my leader ability, which I actually ended up comboing off on the final attack just to remove it from the game. I didn't gain combo power, I just said, get rid of my SCR. So, for its -5, your leader gains 15k double strike, which can be relevant if you don't want to use the Baby Ape with... don't want to use the Soul Punisher with it. And then you may next time you would activate a counter skill till the start of your next turn. You may discard 2 cards instead of paying its cost, basically. So, with Soul Punisher, Baby Ape, and this card, you get an uncounterable 65k triple strike swing coming in. This is how I answered Cooler. I said, you're on 6 life, I know you can't out-combo 65k triple, or even if you can, you will lose your entire hand to do so. So you'll be going from 6 to 3, and then I'll do it again.
And again.
Dump the rest of my hand.
Yeah, look, Cooler Mill is kind of for majority of the time, it is a free win for Cooler Mill against the Step Right. It just is such a such a bad matchup for Gogeta. But it's really cool that you figured out a certain play style to actually beat that deck, which I think is very important.
Yes. I ended up winning that game with only 1 card left in deck.
Yep.
So, even with the tech, it is still very close. And I'm playing 55 cards.
Well, that's that's cool. It's cool that you made top 8, Jun. It's cool that you were able to beat the insanely hard matchup of Cooler Mill. But yeah, that's it for Jun's profile, guys. Any shout outs you want to give?
Shout out to our boys, the team. All helped me a lot in testing and including new tech. Shout out to TAC for hosting the event, and shout out to all my opponents for making it a great event.
Well, yeah, fair enough. Alright guys, well this is John and Jun signing out from the Electus Company. Until next time, peace.